We're going to be reading from Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life. This is from rule number 2. The domain not of matter, but of what matters. I apologize, the druggies are outside my window again. So if any of them yell up there, we'll just ignore them and keep reading. The scientific world of matter can be reduced in some sense to its fundamental constituent elements. Molecule. I'm like, can I read? Molecules, atom. I'm just a little nervous about those guys. Molecules, atom, even quarks. However, the world of experience has primal constitutes as well. These are the necessary elements that interactions define drama and fiction. One of these is chaos, another is order. The third, as there are three, is a process that mediates between the two. So the third one is a process that mediates between chaos and order, which appears identical to what people call consciousness. Okay, so chaos, order, and consciousness. It is our eternal subjugation to the first two that makes us doubt the validity of existence, that makes us throw up our hands in despair and fail to care for ourselves properly. That's the whole rule number 2, care for yourself like you're caring for somebody you care about. It is properly understanding of the third that allows us the only real way out. Chaos is the domain of ignorance itself. It's unexplained territory. Chaos is what extends internally and without limit beyond the boundaries of all states, all ideas, and all disciplines. It's the foreigner, the stranger, the member of another gang, the rustle in the bushes in the nighttime, the monster under the bed, the hidden anger of your mother, and the sickness of your child. Chaos is the despair and horror you feel when you have been profoundly betrayed. It's the place you end up when things fall apart, when your dreams die, your career collapses, or your marriage ends. It's the underworld of fairy tale and myth, where the dragon and the gold of guards eternally coexist. Chaos is where we are when we don't know where we are, and what we are doing when we don't know what we are doing. It is, in short, all those things and situations we neither know nor understand. Chaos is also the formless potential from which God in Genesis 1 called forth order using language at the beginning of time. It's the same potential from which we, made in that image, call forth the novel and ever-changing moments of our lives. And chaos is freedom, dreadful freedom too. Order, by contrast, is explored territory. That's the hundreds of millions of years of hierarchy of place, position, and authority. That's the structure of society. It's the structure provided by biology too, particularly in so far as you are adapted as you are to the structure of society. Order is tribe, religion, hearth, home, and country. It's the warm, secure living room where the fireplace glows and the children play. It's the flag of the nation. It's the value of the currency. Order is the floor beneath your feet and your plan for the day. It's the greatness of tradition, the rows of desks in a school classroom, the trains that leave on time, the calendar and the clock. Order is the public facade we're called upon to wear, the politeness of a gathering of civilized strangers, and the thin ice on which we all skate. Order is the place where the behavior of the world matches our expectations and our desires, the place where all things turn out the way we want them to. But order is sometimes tyranny and stultification as well, when the demand for certainty and uniformity and purity becomes too one-sided. My throat's a little dry, but I can't get some water. The druggies are getting louder. They don't like readers at all. If something happens to me, his name's Travis. He drives a black truck, and they talked about coming up here, and literally they said that with that knife from me reading. Where everything is certain, we're in order. Where things are according to plan and nothing is new and disturbing. In the domain of order, things behave as God intended. We like to be there. Familiar environments are congenial. In order, we're able to think about things in the long term. There, things work and we're stable, calm, and competent. We seldom leave places we understand geographically or conceptually for that reason. 80% of people never go within 50 miles of their place where they were born. And we certainly do not like it when we're compelled to, that's not in the book, that's in my book. I just threw that out there because it's relevant. And we certainly do not like it when we're compelled to or when it happens accidentally. Yeah, people don't like it when they're forced to leave somewhere. You're in order when you have a loyal friend, a trustworthy ally. I always say ally when I say A-L-Y. I'm talking a lot here, huh? Oh, well. Makes it a little bit more interesting, right? You're like, no, keep reading. When the same person betrays you, sells you out, you move from the daytime world of clarity and light to the dark underworld of chaos, confusion, and despair. That's the same move you make in the same place you visit when your company you work starts to fail and your job is placed in doubt. When your tax return has been filed, that's order. When you're audited, that's chaos. Most people would rather be mugged than audited. Before the Twin Towers fell, that was order. Chaos manifested itself afterward. Everyone felt it. The very air became uncertain. What exactly was it that fell? Wrong question. What exactly remained standing? That was the issue at hand. When the ice you're skating on is solid, that's order. When the bottom drops out and things fall apart and you plunge through the ice, that's chaos. Order is the Shire of Tolkien's hobbits, peaceful, productive, and safely inhabitable, even by the naive. Chaos is the underground kingdom of the dwarfs, usurped by Smaug, the treasure-hoarding serpent. Chaos is the deep ocean bottom. I didn't get that reference because I don't read Lord of the Rings. Chaos is the underground kingdom. Chaos is the deep ocean bottom to which Pinocchio voyaged to rescue his father from Monstro, whale and fire-breathing dragon. That journey into darkness and rescue is the most difficult thing a puppet must do. If he wants to be real, if he wants to extract himself from the temptations of deceit and acting and victimization and impulsive pleasure and totalitarian subjugation, if he wants to take his place as a genuine being in the world, order is the stability of your marriage. It's buttressed by the traditions of the past and by your expectations, grounded, often invisibly in those traditions. Chaos is the stability crumbling under your feet when you discover your partner's infidelity. Chaos is the experience of reeling unbound and unsupported through space when your guiding routines and traditions collapse. Order is the place and time where the oft invisible axioms you live by organize your experience and your actions so that what should happen does happen. Chaos is the new place and time that emerges when tragedy strikes suddenly, or malevolence reveals its paralyzing visage, even in the confines of your own home. Malevolence, that's a great word. Something unexpected or undesired can always make its appearance when a plan is being laid out, regardless of how familiar the circumstances. The opposite of malevolence is great, but malevolence doesn't mean great, but it's an interesting word. The territory has shifted. Make no mistake about it, the apparent space may be the same, but we live in time as well as space. In consequence, even the oldest and most familiar places retain an indetractable capacity to surprise you. You may be cruising happily down the road in the automobile you have known and loved for years, but time is passing. The brakes could fail. You might be walking down the road in the body you have always relied on. If your heart malfunctions, even momentarily, everything changes. Friendly old dogs can still bite. Old and trusted friends can still deceive. New ideas can destroy old and comfortable certainties. Such things matter. They're real. Our brains respond instantly when chaos appears, with simple, hyper-fast circuits maintained from the ancient days, when our ancestors dwelled in trees and snakes struck at in a flash. After that high, instantaneous, deeply reflexive bodily response comes the latter, evolved and more complex but slower response of emotions. And that comes thinking of a higher order which can extend over seconds, minutes, or years. All that response is instinctive in some sense, but the faster the response, the more instinctive. That was from Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life, rule number 2, and that section was called The Domain, not of matter, but of what matters. My name is Gregory Brandt. If you enjoyed my reading, click the thumbs up button, smash the subscribe button, and check out my own book, Gonzo Education.